Obviously, Fang is not present. Fang went on to live the family life.
Well, I mean, you only watched the first episode, so.
Primal season 3, it felt like it was something that maybe wasn't going to happen for a while there. Obviously, season 2 ended in sort of a definitive way. Can you just talk a little bit about the decision to come back and to bring the show back?
Well, it's like I always wanted to do another season, but I always talked about an anthology type show. And so Adult Swim was supportive of it. And so I started to develop it. And I had all these ideas, but nothing was feeling right. And I'm very much, I trust my instinct when it comes to that. And so something was off. And then I started to think about like, oh, I just spent 20 episodes having these characters bond and having the audience like these characters. And then I kind of end the show. And sometimes, when you're making a show, it takes me 2 years and then you watch it in a week. So I suddenly started to have this awareness like, oh, it's still so fresh. And so I go, well, what do I do now? And then all of a sudden this idea popped up of making Spear a zombie. And then all these story ideas and character things and emotional things came up. And then I wrote down like 8 episodes instantly of what can happen. And when that happens, I know that there's something juicy there.
Can you pinpoint where that idea came from? Because certainly nobody saw it coming, right?
Well, I think because in the first season, we did an episode of Plague of Madness where we had kind of a zombie dinosaur.
Right.
And the whole world has magic and all this pulp to it. And that's what's more pulpier than a walking zombie caveman.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
So it felt right.
Do you think there are any dangers of depicting Spear in this way? When you look at the poster, he doesn't seem human.
Right.
I think when you watch the show, you probably find that that's not the case. But like, were there concerns about that?
Yeah, for sure. Like I thought, that term jumping the shark, I was like, oh, did I do that? Maybe. But it felt so right. And then when I talked to the other, our other team members, they were like, no, this is awesome. And then when I talked about what we would do with it and the emotional journey that he's going to take, then everybody got really excited about it.
And again, I've seen the first episode and I loved it. I love Primal, but like, is there a danger of undercutting what you did in the first 2 seasons and how you ended the story at the end of season 2?
I think I hope that when you watch it and you see, like, we're not giving away how he becomes the zombie, but when you watch it and you realize the timeline, especially later in the episodes, it doesn't. It just becomes part of his weird journey through time here.
Yeah. He's been through so much, this guy, right?
And that was the whole idea, is that you want to cheer for him. Like, oh no, now he was dead and he can't even be peaceful in death.
Yeah.
He's got to be like this now. And so you cheer for him to come back if he does.
Can you talk just a little bit about the actual animation of him? Because like he moves in a different way than the living Spear does. Like, how much did you guys put into figuring that out?
I mean, a lot. Like, especially in the beginning, he doesn't know who he is, right? So all of his motor skills under a normal scenario aren't there. So he's like a baby in a way, learning to walk again. And you honor some of the zombie lore of how zombies walk and stuff. And so we did a little bit of that. And then through the season, you can see a change through it a little bit without giving too much away.
Sure.
But yeah, it was fun. It was fun to treat a zombie this way. As far as zombie stuff goes, usually you're not cheering for the zombies. You're cheering for the people to escape.
Right.
And this is the opposite. So hopefully it'll be very interesting especially for zombie genre fans.
Yeah. He's definitely a very different type of zombie.
Yes.
I love the animation of the shoulders and even when he just like plops down, he sits down at one point, he just kind of falls,
Yeah. And that's really fun to do as animation because it's more unique. And because Primal is the type of show that we could take our time, we could have him just walking with some cool music and you get a lot of that.
So obviously Fang is not present. Fang went on to, live the family life. How did that affect you guys creatively, just in terms of telling the story? Because Spear was always so intertwined with Fang.
Well, I mean, you only watched the first episode, so
I
don't know if that's the right statement.
I should have stayed up last night.
So no, you can't make any assumptions.
Yeah.
I think is the answer to that.
Okay. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. So many questions now, Boo, because it's like in season 2, we get a time jump in the final moment, I think. But we'll put the pin on that.
All will be revealed
okay.
as you watch. Yes.
Can we talk a little bit just about the art of storytelling without dialogue, which obviously you mastered in animation? It's a thing you've done in so many of your projects. Like, where does that come from? And why is it something you continue to go back to?
The true love of it, I think, probably came when I started doing Dexter, and it's my first show, and it's something that I control. We hired composers to do music, and all of a sudden I had a little 10-second clip, and the music was great. And I was like, oh,
right.
I wish I did this for a minute. Then you could really feel it,
Right.
And then I realized, oh, right, that's what makes things cinematic, is when you have great music with a slow pan and you're telling something visually. And I think it started to grow from there. And, I was 26. I didn't know anything. And I started to realize, especially by the time Samurai Jack came, I got to create the time so music and effects can have the opportunity to tell their own story.
Right. Yeah.
And, of course, Primal is the epitome of that, because it takes the visuals and the sound and unites them into its own.
Yeah. Even again, in the first episode of this season, I noticed even his dead body sounds when he's moving around and all those bits. It adds such a texture to the entire world. Well, did you get pushback back in the early days when you were tried to do more dialogue-free stuff?
No, I mean, my relationship with Cartoon Network was always so great. I get so lucky because the network was just starting. I was just starting. So we were, there's 12 million viewers when Dexter premiered, which is nothing,
Yeah.
And so we both learned along the way. So they were always very supportive. And then when I told them about Samurai Jack, they were really interested in it. And then I remember this moment where in the first episode, there's a 7-minute training sequence, and there's not one word in it. They were visiting from Atlanta in our LA studio, and I showed it to them without music, right, with no sound, and everyone was flabbergasted, because they've never seen anything like that, and the artistry, of course, was really well done, and so we all knew we had something special. So they were always supportive. Nobody said well, let's, throw in a couple of one-liners here.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the first volume of your Clone Wars, I think, was dialogue free for the most
Very little.
part,
We had some narration and a few bits.
Yeah.
Overall, it feels like it's
it
more
does,
visual. Yeah.
What do you think of the sort of the state of getting your product in front of people's eyeballs these days? Where are we at? Because things have changed so much from those early days of Cartoon Network, and now where everything is streaming, and there's no monoculture, everything's so fragmented. Do you as a creator feel it's harder to get your work out there?
I've been lucky. People are still buying. So, and I have my relationships, Sony for features, Adult Swim, HBO, whatever for TV stuff, streaming. The one thing that's different that took me a minute to get over is branding. Right, because in the early 90s, it was all about, we need the Cartoon Network brand. We need the Nickelodeon brand, right? Pixar brand. And everybody was very brand loyal. And now, you can make a show for anybody. Right. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So there's something to that where if you watch a Cartoon Network show, if there is such a thing, or Adult Swim show, it's necessarily because Rick and Morty was on Hulu. And it's all over the place. So you used to watch Cartoon Network and you know what show you're going to get. You can watch Disney Channel and you kind of know what show you're going to get. Now those lines are blurred.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's something that's changed the culture quite a bit.
And maybe is more creatively freeing.
Yeah. It's certainly, there's more buyers when you're thinking like that.